And we are live. Welcome everyone to another Apollo Justice Ace Attorney live stream. Let me just get in here. Oh wait, we're good to go. Because we've got a wrecked doctor's office to look at. I wonder what he spilled. Probably coffee, and it upsets me. Alright. I love that track. I've heard it plenty. But we don't need to hear it no more. Dash, welcome to the stream, man. How's your Thursday been so far? As you guys can assume, I've barely been up, so this is always good things when I've barely been awake. Alright. Double checking, triple checking, make sure everything's good to go. I think we are a go. Alright, last time out, we got through the first court proceedings, and we, figured some things out. I needed some assistance, as always. Save the tush push. Yeah, I know. You know why we did? Because we're the only team that stopped it. The tush push was ineffective against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that's why they were like, yeah, no, sure, let them keep it. The second I saw that, I'm like, yeah, no, that's the least surprising thing. It's the fact that we saved the tush push. Like, yeah, no, that makes sense, because we were the kryptonite, so, yeah, I get us being okay with it. Not to mention, I think, Cohen and company would probably utilize it. The last time out, we, did we add any more evidence? I don't know if we did. I do know we now found out we can get footprints, which is great. And we found some very feminine sandals at the doctor's office. With a big toe print. You know. Big toes. Calling cards. Puts everyone away. I do love that, like, everything's a mess and then the lamp is fine. They saved the lamp. Kind of an expensive looking lamp, isn't it? Hey, the bulb's broken. Broken? Yeah. Don't you mean burned out? No. Our cat burglar must have dropped it. Well, why is it standing up on the floor like that then? Hey, look at the card. Huh? There's a red splotch on a part of the cord. Somebody was bleeding. Jaren, welcome to the stream, man. You're vibing to the background music. We know this game's got... All the Ace Attorney games have bangers in the background. We know that. And Jaren, do you have for me your masterfully crafted UFL bat? Because I got a good chunk of change to play with, so I might put a little bit more than I did last week on it. Mm-hmm. You made it, but it's you're not confident. I get it. I get it, because there's possibility of players sitting. I wouldn't think, though, that players are sitting this week. Maybe next week. I think more players will sit next week than this week. Because you're still playing for home field. At least in the UFL. Or in the USFL conference, so. And I'm sure DC still wants to win the conference, even though they can't have a home game. Which is kind of stupid. Oh, it's injuries. Michigan starting Etling again. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's... Who are they playing, though? Because, I mean... Let me see. Who are they playing? Because it may not be that big of an issue. Depending on who they're playing. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Hoo, hoo, hoo. So, okay. Battlehawks should win. Should win. Arlington and Memphis with the over. Got it. Stallions money line and Defenders money line. Yeah, that Michigan Birmingham game is a toss up. Ooh. That is a fucking toss up. I will say this much. I think that 40 could hit. The over could hit. I think it's going to take a lot from Arlington to get it to hit, though. Let's go. Yeah, I'll go there. I'll go there. I'll put $4 on it. Yeah, Memphis and Arlington, that over might hit. The Michigan-Birmingham game is the scary one to me. That's the scariest one. No, the whole situation with the divisions being saved is solely because I don't think anyone was actually going to vote on it, but... Memphis, they aren't exactly known for doing anything, and I figured 41 points isn't a hard ask. I will say this much. The over has hit, I think, in almost every game since, like, week 5. Like, as the season has gone on, the over is hit. So, that bodes well. We just gotta hope for turnovers. Alright. You think that's blood?
It's a little light for blood, almost pinkish.
Something's definitely odd about this lamp, that's for sure. I'm gonna grab it and take it with us. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Tush Push get banned next year. I wouldn't be surprised. Books and papers are scattered around the room.
Wow, what a mess! This is worse than Daddy's room. The burglar must have left in a hurry.
Even the cup on the desk here is lying on its side. Huh? The juice that spilled out of the cup. It's dry.
So, the messy one wasn't our burglar just now?
Someone knocked this cup over a while ago and left it. Okay. That's a little also, it's juice, guys. It's juice. You know what that means in these type of games. Nobody should have to bring back the fullback. The fullback should always be a thing. The fullback is the greatest position known to man, and people are stupid. You gotta have, or I should say this, you should have an H-back. Whether that's a tight end fullback hybrid type, or just a big monster blocking the way for your running back. You need a Greg Jones, a dude that literally goes into the huddle and says, "Give me Ray," and then pushes Ray Lewis like 15 yards back with ease. And if he didn't, you know. I'm not shocked at that. That's what a lot of teams are doing nowadays on goal line sets, are putting D linemen in at fullback. Which, I don't mind that. Give the big boy a touchdown every once in a while. Come on, do it. If I could give it to him. This potted plant is seeing better days. That doesn't make sense either.
What doesn't?
Normally, burglars are looking for valuables, right?
That's true. That's what I would do if I were a burglar.
So why look under a potted plant?
Maybe they were looking for the key to the safe.
Heard of people putting their house keys under plants. But the key to a safe?
But maybe the burglar was looking for the house keys.
This is getting nowhere fast. Okay, so we've got the safe in the window. Let's go to the safe first. Funny enough, he's an international player, meaning he wouldn't count against the 53 man too. Yeah, there you go. Easy way to do it. You get a free fullback.
What a cute little safe.
Looks like a 4-digit lock. Son of a bitch. We only need 2 digits.
Someone's already entered in 2 numbers, Apollo. 7, 9. Wait, do you think?
That burglar just now was trying to open it. I wonder what's inside this safe.
Is there any way we can figure out the last 2 numbers?
Well, we know the first 2 are 7 and 9.
Maybe there's something in the court record. Something that can help us figure out the last 2 numbers.
I wonder. Nope. Dude, what the fuck? Okay, I was looking at the bulb. The bulb is broken. It won't turn on.
Oh, how is it broken?
Don't touch that. You'll cut yourself.
Eee!
Yeah. Fool me once.
My finger.
You're bleeding. Let me see that. Wait.
Magic blood. Gotcha. Said
they'll revisit it when the league expands to 18 games. I wouldn't be surprised if they do add another game. Maybe they do it, but I still think it'd be stupid. It's stupid as long as you have legitimate divisions. If you just willy-nilly have divisions like the NBA, then okay, fine, whatever. But the NFL has meaningful divisions. And until they're not meaningful, it's a stupid concept. Please don't do that again. I have enough to worry about without my coworkers injuring themselves on the evidence. That also would be tampering with the evidence, and that would screw us in court. Okay. Okay, that doesn't give us a number of anything. Nope, just the big toe print on that. Yeah, no, I don't think we have anything that gives us a number. No such luck. That'd be a bit too lucky, don't you think?
Well, I suppose. If only there was something that could...
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. And there'll be 16 international games. That's a lot of international games. I mean, I get like every team gets one. Well, every team gets two actually, but something that could finger which buttons had been pressed, huh? Maybe there is a way after all. Before we do that, see, I didn't think about that until after they pointed it out. Because I was thinking maybe we had something that had the code on it. It's clever. It's clever. I didn't think about it. It's clever. The window is ajar.
That must be how our burglar escaped.
I wonder who it was.
Maybe it was just a burglar who happened to pick here.
Yeah, but there's a patrol car sitting out front. If I were a burglar, I'd come back the next day at least.
I'd give it a month myself.
Whoever broke in obviously needed to break in today. I do love the camera shutter for the close-ups. I've got just the thing. Well, I have an idea.
I knew it, Apollo. What is it?
Well, all we have to know is what buttons have been pressed. We can use this to find out what the next two numbers are.
How do we know for sure? What if this is really a jar of something else, like jam or honey?
Why would anyone go through the trouble?
Well, so the police don't find out. That's why.
I hardly think possessing fingerprint powder is a crime.
Oh. Huh. I guess. That's boring. Take that!
When you press the buttons, you'd have to touch them with your finger, right?
It would leave a print.
When you open a safe, you don't press any other buttons but the right ones, right? So, if we can find the buttons with fingerprints,
we'll have the safe code. Not bad, Apollo.
almost about possible last night during the ECF game. Everyone put 100 down on the Knicks winning when they were up 115 to 100 in the final 5 minutes to win $1. Yeah, I saw the final. I was busy watching the Angels win their 6th straight. So, you know, I was a little more focused on that. But, yeah, I will say, I love that the Pacers, like, in my lifetime, I've never known the Pacers to be a, like, successful team. Like, they've been competent at times, but not great. I love that the Pacers are good enough to make it this far, and I actually know the team. Because it used to be where I barely knew, barely knew any of the team. I knew, like, Roy Hibbert, and Danny Granger. And that was about it. And then, of course, Paul George. But, you know, now that I actually pay attention to sports a little more, it's nice to see teams competitive that I don't normally see competitive for a while. Okay, so it's 2-9 in some or 2-5 in some facet. I'm just gonna keep putting all this on there. There we go. Look, you can see the oily finger residue clearly. Look at 7 and 9.
These are glove marks. The burglar must have been wearing gloves.
Well, we might not be able to identify the burglar, but we can open this safe. Let's give it a shot. I'm gonna go 2-5. Okay, so it's 5-2. Got it. Bing. Is that a fucking bullet hole or is that an eye hole? What? Which one? That's the first thing that caught my eye because between movies and horror games, the only thing I think about when I see a hole like that is somebody's watching me. Like Rockwell said. It opened. I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I got no privacy. It looks like a bullet hole.
You can still see the bullet sticking out of it.
Why is it in the middle of a safe?
Hey, the bullet came out. The tip is all squished.
Not surprising given that it was fired into a metal safe. This bullet's got a story behind it. That's for sure. I saw that you were playing MLB yesterday, Jaren, when I was because I was using up my stars, using up my points from PlayStation Stars, given they're ending that. And I saw you were online. I saw you had MLB. I'm like, oh, I didn't know he got that. Good for him. And now I've got $20 to play with in my PlayStation wallet. So when a game that one goes on sale, guys, we'll be up for it. No good sales on right now, sadly. You just bought it yesterday? Oh, there you go. I will say, Road to the Show this year is so much fucking fun, solely for the fact that I feel like it's the best setup they've done for how to make your character better without making you feel overpowered. So I recommend, if you haven't played Road to the Show, to play Road to the Show. Because now they've made it where you get to choose what you upgrade, but you upgrade it in bunches. And I like it solely because I'm like, okay, I don't feel like I'm becoming an 80 overall immediately like I would. I would walk into Road to the Show with like an 80 overall player because of the like bats and all that. And now they don't do that. They just give you a modifier. And I'm like, that's a better method to not make me feel like I'm massively overpowered. 7 starting pitchers on the main MLB roster, and 3 of them are 30 plus years old and 1's 40 plus. Well, you gotta do the fun thing of drafting starting pitching, Jaren. Draft starting pitching. Which, good for you. The game gives you a lot of good starting pitchers in drafts normally, so you got that for yourself. You've been making yourself balanced. I've been balancing myself out with mainly contact being my strong suit. I try to play closer to what I would have been if I'd continued playing baseball, and there's no way I would have been a power hitter. One, I'm too small for that, and two, it just wouldn't happen. I would have been a defensive, infielder with contact. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to draft all pitchers. There you go. Hey, that Angels pitching class has been okay. It's been okay. Oh, you went the two-way, Dusk? I haven't done the two-way. I just don't. It's too much for me. I like having like a base set amount of play time. It moves quicker to me. So I haven't done much with the two-way. So I think we found one of the shots fired from that gun. Okay, what's in the files?
This looks like a medical chart. There's an x-ray in here with it.
An x-ray? Can't make heads or tails of it. I can't read the chart either. It's all in medical speak.
But the names are easy enough to read. Look, by patient, it says Waki Kitaki.
So
this is Waki, our client's chart, huh?
Why would this one chart be here in this safe? Won the World Series in your rookie season? Who were you playing? Who'd you get drafted by? That's impressive to not only make it to the majors in your first season, but and you gotta be really good. I'm not great, so I also did the college route because I was like, I probably wouldn't be good enough to get drafted at 18, so go the college route. Phillies. Oh, okay. Did you pick where you wanted to go? I never do that anymore. I did it once on accident. I just love the randomness. And not to mention, it will always remind me of that time when I did accidentally pick the Angels. I wound up getting traded from the Angels to the Royals, who then gave me a 3-year deal, and I was like, oh, they care about me. That's awesome. Then traded me at the end of that year to the Diamondbacks, or midway through the year to the Diamondbacks, who then at the end of that year traded me to the White Sox. I was so pissed. I was so mad. I still hold a grudge against the fucking Royals. You don't understand it. Okay. That's a good reason. That's a good reason. God, I don't even remember what Road to the Show that was. I want to say it was like 23. I'll have to go back and check. Man, I held a grudge against the fucking Royals for the entirety of that playthrough. And I stayed with the White Sox, mainly because I was like, I went through 4 different teams, and you were the only one that actually wanted to keep me around, so I'm not leaving. I legitimately was loyal to the soil solely because they were loyal to me. It was to the point of I was like, normally I'd leave for money, but yeah. She said I was dead there. What's the Phillies? I mean, at that point, hey, you gotta go with them then. You gotta pull an Eli Manning. Let's see. The physician's signature says Pal Maractus.
What is it, Apollo?
Look here, where it says who filed the chart.
Let's see. Nurse Alita Tiala.
Alita Tiala is Walkie's fiance.
That's Juanita too many, Apollo.
Never mind that. What's her name doing here?
How should I know? Though, I guess it means she's on staff at this clinic.
And that means those are her shoes. I knew it. I fucking knew it. She's the only one to wear those kind of shoes, I bet. Odd that she neglected to mention this before now.
Sure she had her reasons.
So Alita Tiala worked at the Maractus clinic, and she had access to Walkie Kitaki's medical chart.
You got the I and Y wrong, Apollo.
I'd be very interested to find out what this chart says. Who could help us decipher this? Oh, we do know a doctor. As much as I don't trust him, we do know a doctor. Oh, I can't look at the cat? Well, that fucking sucks. I can't look at the lockbox. Well, we know where we're headed. Oh, okay. Didn't run into anyone. Hey, Phoenix, do you know a doctor? Okay. No, he's not even here, is he? Nope. Knock, knock. People Park. She came out of fucking nowhere there for a second.
I know that face. That's the face of someone who's made a discovery. Hey, how did you know?
You can't fool someone trained in the ways of science. Okay, Emma, I like you. You're good people. Can you tone down the science? You're not Bill Nye here. Bill Nye can do it all he wants because he's Bill Nye the Science Guy and he's got his own show and an awesome kick-ass theme song. You don't have either of those things. So you gotta tone it down just like to 7. You're right now at 10. Tone it down to 7. Next, you'll have us analyzing face prints.
Let's ask Detective Sky to help us, Apollo.
Yo, what the fuck does this mean?
Detective Sky, I was wondering about this.
Trucy, wait!
What?
That's vital evidence here. You can't show her that. That's our secret weapon in tomorrow's trial for sure.
Oh, clever, Apollo.
What did I tell you before? If you're going to talk behind someone's back, do it quietly.
Detective Sky, I was wondering about this.
Okay. This bullet was inside the safe, right? That means the police don't know about it yet.
Oh, right. We can use this in the trial tomorrow.
I kind of like just seeing what they say, seeing what Trucy does here. Okay.
These sandals. That's quite a clear print there. A toe print. Too bad we don't know whose toe it is.
Well, there is a way of finding out, of course. There is?
What? All you need is a sample of the same toe print off another shoe, for instance.
Oh, right. So if the prints match, you know the same person wore both. Because if the print does not, well, no. If the print does not fit, you must have quit. There we go. I had to make one OJ reference, right? Do I have another? No, I don't. Or do I? I've got the sandals. But I don't think the sandals have any prints on them. Unless... I missed it! I wonder, could this be a print? Look at me. I have been up for a fucking 2.5 hour time span. And I used my brain. Actually, it's only been about an hour and a half, if I'm being honest. But I used my big brain that's moderately sized.
Why would there be a finger? Oh, you mean a toe print. Good call, Apollo.
Bet we can analyze it just like a regular print.
This could be a vital piece of evidence.
I'm gonna make sure I do this in one go. Hey, it worked! That looks like a big toe, maybe?
Wow, I feel like the case is solved already.
What was next? We have to match the print, right?
Right, let's match it. Wait. The detective didn't give us a list of toe prints, Apollo.
Oh, good point.
Maybe we should ask her. Get some expert advice.
I guess so. Not sure she really qualifies as an expert. Got one right here. I think I just might actually.
Really?
I'm beginning to suspect something here. Detective Sky, can you compare this sample with this other print? This pair of slippers, toe print and all.
Oh, the print on these is nice and clear too.
That makes our job easy. Can you analyze it for us?
Of course. Hang on.
She blinded me with science. She blinded me with science.
Bingo.
Gosh, I'm good. Hey, we were the ones who found the prints.
A perfect match.
The same person wore these sandals and slippers. I was afraid of that.
All you have to do is find out who these sandals belong to.
Or do you already know?
I can't say. Not yet.
Well, that's one big step closer. That's one big step closer to the truth. And that means to justice. Okay, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do with my camera? I'm gonna move myself over a bit. Yay! I'm now smaller. More life size. Is there anything else I can present her with? I don't think the lamp works. Okay, never mind. I wasn't sure if the lamp was gonna work or not. Say, Could you take a look at this lamp? I love lamp.
The bulb's broken.
Right. Strange, isn't it?
Really? Really? I break bulbs all the time. My desk is a mess, and my lamp is always falling over. Not too bright, huh?
Ouch.
I still think it's kind of odd.
Yep. Okay. I think that's all we got there. Nothing new to talk to her about. Nope. No. Detention center. Fuck.
Don't cry, Angel. Daddy's back, and Daddy's... Oh. You again!
Do you always have to announce your entrances like that?
Man. My old man. Man. Now I'm all in a funk, and it's his fault.
One can only assume that his father tried to teach him a lesson. And failed. Clearly.
You two got your work cut out for you. Straight up. Of course, I don't care if they lock me up. I'm ready to go.
Some days I wonder why I do what I do. Paulo, that's relatable, my guy. Fucking relatable.
Hey man, you won't see me bugging about 1 or 2 guilty charges. But what if you're found guilty of murder? Hey, it's all experience. You feel me, shorty? Like a badge of honor. They don't give the death penalty, do they? You didn't really do it, did you? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
If I've learned one thing today, it's that silence speaks louder than words.
Man, my old man is whack. Disappointing. That's what he is. I heard he wants to leave the mob. Over my dead body? I spent my life trying to keep it real, being an OG, and never stepping down. Now my old man wants to go soft? Fine, let him. Just leave me out of it.
I fucking hate this man. Can we go against him? Can I join the prosecution? Even though I'm pretty sure he's innocent. Did they give the death penalty to Von Karma? I don't remember them saying his, I don't remember them saying what he got.
The day I get out of the clink, that's the day Alita and I start the next generation of the Kitaki family.
Please don't talk as though it's assumed you're going to jail. For my sake. Okay. Walkie. You don't happen to recognize these, do you?
Hey! Sure I do. I was the one who bought them for her.
Yep, as expected.
For Miss Tiala? Yeah, a birthday present. She's got mad little feet. Mad. So cute, man.
Okay, Put one on the board for Waki being a feet guy. Did not have that one on my list. Just saying.
So these sandals are hers.
Yeah. Kinda had a feeling.
What's up with the funky vibes? Man, that is so far off the hook. It's off the chain, G.
He seems preoccupied with something else.
Wonder how my Alita's doing. Man, I miss her. Huh? What's that? Some kind of X-ray? Wait.
That's right, Waki. It's yours.
Hey, look. I don't smoke or nothing. I'll live long. Right? I don't think he gets it, Apollo.
Take a closer look. Here, in particular. Where it says nurse. It's signed Alita Tiala.
Huh? You lawyers do your homework. So you met Miss Tiala when you... Yeah, I met her at the clinic. So?
Could you tell us a bit about the circumstances of your meeting?
Fine. I'll tell you how we met if you want to know that bad.
Alright.
About half a year ago, I was shot doing a little turf war with another family. I was ready to die, sure. But they came in and got me, hauled me off to the docks. The Maractus Clinic. That's where I met her. My fallen angel. Oh yeah.
You mean Alita Tiala?
She was scared at me at first, turns out. I get it. I'm an OG like that. But you know what they say. The bad guy always gets the ladies.
You know what, Waki? I'll give you that one, because at least you didn't say you were a good guy. At least you didn't say you were a good guy. Because then I'd start thinking you were different. So, you know what? I'll give you that one. Because I could have gone in a direction that, Well, he wouldn't have said that because he got the girl. If he didn't get the girl, he might call himself a good guy and be upset that, good guys finish last. And then we're talking about a whole different part of the internet now. Aw, he ain't no Razor. He ain't cool enough to be Razor. This man wishes he was Scott Hall. Right.
She was done with that clinic anyhow. So I was like, I'll take you on, woman. Straight gangster style. Guess what she said? What did she say? Come on, give it some thought. She said it real quiet like, on the down low. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave if you marry me.
So, that was the proposal?
You know it. An oath of love. Right there in the hospital room. Just like that. The op was done. And we were out of there. See you later. Bye.
About that op.
Yeah, didn't go so well after all, did it? I know about the report. I know it's still in me.
I love the idea that I had to do the pat chest, because I imagine he's like,
I know it's still in me.
I got that dog in me.
This health checkup was the boss's idea, you said.
Yeah, can you imagine? What's the point of living healthy when you're a G? You know what I'm saying?
But didn't you learn about the bullet at that checkup?
Yeah. That's why I knew that doctor had to pay. Figured I could get that cap pulled after I got my revenge. Guy calls it a cap, too. Why are you a thing, Walkie? And hey, I'm still living large now, aren't I? Incidentally, had you ever had a health check before? Nah, my old man suddenly gets this idea that we all gotta get checkups. Guess he's getting old. Older, I mean. Huh. Okay. I need more info on that. So they all got checkups. Okay, I really thought that was going to lead me somewhere there, and it did not. Oh, shit. Okay. I did not think just going to Eldon's house would work. I get mobsters wanting a health, like a checkup just to make sure everything's going well, because you need to know how long you got, but like, they're playing it real safe. Oh my god, no. Cody Bellinger needs a hit. I'm upset. Okay, I need to check something. Fuck. I tailed the wrong home run parlay. Alright.
Mr. Eldon, we've been looking all over for you.
What's the matter, Trucidor?
Apollo, show him what we found. Nothing like expert advice.
I suppose he is a doctor still. Mr. Eldon, is everything okay? I'm just so happy. I just thought my doctor days were gone for good. Mr. Eldon, I need you. Look at this. I don't think I can talk to you. Nope. Mr. Eldon, could you take a look at this? A medical chart? Hey, you shouldn't go around taking these from clinics.
Why the sudden silence, Mr. Eldon?
What? What's going on here? That's what we want to know. The chart belongs to my client.
He's on trial on suspicion of murder.
On trial? That's crazy. You can't put him on trial. He's ABD.
ABD?
All but dead. He's knocking on the pearly gates, and someone's about to answer. Oh. So, what you're telling me, in the words of Axl Rose and others who have covered the song, he's knocking on heaven's door? Can you tell us why? I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect that to be a wig. That threw me off. He looks a lot better like this. And I just imagine, like, he takes that off and suddenly, well, permit me to speak as a surgeon. You listen up good now, son. No way. The fuck? Did my headphones just disconnect or something? The hell just happened? That's weird. Started road to the show. First high school game. TCU's recruiting you. But you got the White Sox, Twins, Angels, and Athletics looking at you. What position are you playing? Because given it's after the first game, I'm assuming, let's see, if Angels are looking at you, you're either pitching or maybe like a first base. I was about to say corner baseman. Because I'm like, we could use a third base. I could see first base. Because Nolan can play third if need be. So yeah, that makes sense. So I take it you're a heavy bat. You're just a home run hitter. Well, according to this chart, this walkie-talkie feller is not doing so well. In power and contact? Yep, kind of figured. Playing first, that's kind of all you do. You're not really a fielder. He's got a bullet right upside his heart. That's right. Yeah. This chart talks about the post-op. In other words, the operation is already finished. But you can still see that bullet stuck in there. Why would it still be in there after the operation to remove it? Well, but the only reason I can think of is it was too tricky to operate on.
What?
The bullet snug is a bug. The bullet snug is a bug there next to the aorta, which is connected to the heart. Heck, that scrap of metal's just surrounded by blood vessels. Kind of a miracle. 2 millimeters to either side, and there'd be some serious bleeding going on in there. Not something your average doc'd be eager to fiddle with.
You mean?
Took a miracle to get that bullet stuck where it is. It'd take more than a miracle to take it out. It'd take a magician. Trucy? It's time.
I'm only up to making rabbits disappear. I haven't learned bullets yet.
I like Trucy just like hand over like where the bullet wound is and like grabbing the bullet out. Of course, with the heart pumping and lungs working, that bullet's on the move. I'd give him another half a year tops. Ooh. But Walkie's operation was already a half year ago. That's why I'm saying you're out of time. This kid shouldn't be on trial. He should be on an operating table. Great. Just great.
How could Dr. Maractus do such a terrible thing? How could he just leave the bullet in there?
I got a pretty good idea how he felt. An emergency operation. He's got the kid's chest open on the table. Then he finds the bullet. That's I almost didn't say it right. That's despair right there, Trucidal. Cold despair. Why are we saying it so much? I get it. It's maybe the best word the stream has ever had, but why are we saying it so much, guys?
Despair. That the only thing he could do is sew the board back up. He wasn't exactly in the situation to go admitting he couldn't take it out. Lucky Takis. You bet. This kid's their only son, I hear. So, he skips the operation and Walky's back on the street living his life. Of course, it's only a matter of time before his heart hemorrhages and he drops cold. How awful. Which doctor would they take him to? Maractus. He's got enough ties to them, he could probably cover up the truth of what happened. That's just horrible. He left Walky to die. There's a darkness in this world, Trucidal. Waiting. Hungry. For noodles. Compared to it, these gangs, turf wars are like kid games. When you're up against real evil, well, it don't matter if you're weak or strong. It'll take you all the same. You were a surgeon, right, Mr. Eldoon? You can operate on Walky, couldn't you? I wish. It's been a long time. What? I'm afraid there ain't nobody in the country that could. Maybe not even in the world. So Walky, he's real lucky to be alive, even now. No.
There's one problem.
Apollo?
This chart. Look at the nurse section. Alita Tiala.
That's right. This operation was how they met.
Yeah, the problem is, she knew. She knew about Walky's condition. Guaranteed. Why didn't she ever tell him? It doesn't make sense. If she knew her patient was in serious danger, you'd think she'd want to get that second operation before getting engaged.
What was she thinking? Apollo.
What were you thinking, Alita Tiala? I know what she was thinking. And how she was going to take over the mob. Was ready to head back to court. Secular Cowbell. That's a choice of a name. Alright. Keep moving. June 17th, 9:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, numero 2. Numero dos.
This is it. That big day. Did you get any sleep?
Yeah, I went to bed at 1 a.m. or so. That would have been real good for me to go to bed at 1 a.m. last night. I went to bed at like 4. My sleep schedule is shit.
Oh, what time did you wake up?
3 a.m.
That's only 2 hours, Apollo. But at least you have me.
And Mr. Hat.
And the amazing Mr. Hat.
He's looking at you, kid. He's looking at you, kid. Okay, if that's how he's gonna talk, he's just gonna get the detective voice then. Yeah, he's looking at you, kid. I'm assuming this is Phoenix. Good luck today, Apollo. That voice. Phoenix! Hey, get any sleep?
Mr. Wright!
I was going out of my mind with boredom, so I signed myself out earlier today. Somehow that place makes fake piano playing at the Indochin pasta joint seem almost fun. That's supposed to be essentially Indonesian.
Daddy, how do you know who Prosecutor Gavin's witness is today? Or do you know who Prosecutor Gavin's witness is today?
I can't read. Take a guess.
How about Little Plum?
That Sherman tank of a mom? Nope. Guess again.
That's too bad. You know, speaking of moms, you need to find me a new mommy one of these days, Daddy.
It's barely morning and you're already at it, Trucy. Okay, so. Yeah, that happens. That happens in Road to the Show. That happens. Is that just a theme with you guys? You guys come to my streams after being sleep deprived? Is that how it works? We just show up to stream and we all get like no sleep or sleep too much compared to what we want? Is that just how it works? I still want to know what happened to the one girl, Dahlia's sister. I want to know what happened to her, because her and Phoenix were a thing at the end of the third game. Like, I need to know. It's my gimmick. My gimmick is just bringing in people who don't get sleep. And things didn't work out. Looks like, yeah, I want to know what happened. That's the story I want to know. Fuck anything with Apollo. I want to know what happened to Phoenix. Okay. See, this is why I don't buy their father-daughter relationship. Don't spoil things, Dash. I need the game to tell me. I mean, I figured she's still at the temple, but I want to know what went down. I want to know what transpired. How big of drama is it? Would it have been a hit on the CW? Probably. So, Mr. Wright, do you know who the prosecution's witness is? Alita Tiala, your client's fiance. She's going to be a witness?
That seems odd. Why would she testify against her own fiancé?
You have to wonder what Gavin's up to. Something going down today? Not much is clear.
Well, not to worry. I've got my panties back. If we can't find a killer, I'll pull one out of there.
I'm glad we have Trucy on our side. She's never mentioned after Trials and Tribulations? What? How dare they not mention her after that? Court is now in session for the trial of Walkie Kitaki. The defense is ready, Your Honor. At this point, I don't know what voice to do for him. And the Jericho one only works so much. He only gets, every time he says, baby, I'll give him the good old, baby! But outside of that, I don't know what voice I'm giving him. He just gets a voice now. Prosecution is warmed up. and it's a sold-out house. Very well. To recap, while yesterday's witness seemed more guilty than any other party,
Guilty of panty snatching.
we did find out one thing for certain. There were 3 people in the park the time of the murder. The witness, the victim, and the defendant. Correct, Herr Judge. And today, I'd like to do something a little new age. I'd like to look at this horrible crime from the outside. The outside? The acquisition of the murder weapon. The preparation for the act. Our poor defendant told all, you see. To his betrothed. His betrothed? His fiancée, Herr Judge. His partner for life. With no chance for parole. Very well. You may show the lucky lady to the stand. Your name and occupation, Fraulein.
Alida Tiala. My occupation is future wife.
No, your occupation is nurse. That's a lie. She lied on the fucking stand. That's not an occupation. Judge, are we just gonna let this shit slide? Fuck you. I asked, and he fucking answered. Fuck you. Give him a male Francisca voice? That would be just my garbage German accent. That's what that would be. Ah, traditional values. I respect that. You know, you can do whatever you want. If you want to be a trad wife, that's fine. That's totally fine. As long as that's your decision. Judge, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta straight up just be sitting here and agree that that's not an occupation? Too many brides these days can't even weave baskets blindfolded. Underwater. Okay. I think he's gone. Judge, have you been writing too much? Because now you're starting to... Dude, I think you've been on Wattpad for a little too long. You might need a break, my guy. Take a break. These college recruit pitches, TCU recruit, we had over 50 players reach the MLB. We had UCLA, we had over 100 reach. Tennessee, we had more than 10. I mean, give Tennessee credit. A lot of their guys were top picks. So their 10 were all pretty big picks. Yet you're here today as a witness for the prosecution.
To be honest, I didn't want to testify at first, but I couldn't hide the truth.
Honesty. Another admirable trait. This is definitely going down as a character in my novel. My fan fiction is going to be top tier now. My viewers are going to love this. Okay, if you want this shit, German accent, I'll bring it back.
Fraulein, is it true that on the day of the crime, the defendant, Vaki Kitaki, confesses his plans? His plans for murder. Yes.
The witness will please give her testimony to the court. Okay. What's the testimony here, Alita? You wanna be battle angel?
It was the day that the family the day that the family health checkup results came back. When Walkie found out that Dr. Maractus had lied, he flew into a rage. "I'll teach him," he said. He took one of the family's pistols. And you already know what happened that night. I just don't see how anyone but Walkie could have done it.
It will reach #1 in courtroom drama on Wattpad. Yes, yes. I love that all of, like, the only reason this shit started with the judge writing fan fiction is because of the way April May acted. If they did not write her the way they did, I would have never made the fan fiction joke. But man, it has been a fantastic running gag. So the pistol did belong to the Kitaki family then. With regards to this, da is Russian. What the fuck? Ja would be German. Yeah. With regards to this, an investigation is underway at the Kitaki mansion on charges of possession of illegal firearms. And the bullet that took the victim's life, was it fired from the pistol the defendant procured? Yes, this has been proven.
How can you prove something like that?
Bullets carry marks from the barrel that fired them, called rifling marks.
Rifling marks?
Think of them as being a gun's fingerprint, left on every bullet it fires. He's becoming more and more Russian, because that's where the German accent goes, for me. Why did we not have a Russian prosecutor yet? I don't know. I'm shocked we haven't had a Russian character yet, really, outside of Olga, and she was performing an act. She was actually just a Vegas dealer the entire time. And when did you first hear about Walkie's plan?
It was the day of the murder. I should have stopped him. I just didn't think he would actually do it.
Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Okay. That was the day of the murder, correct?
Yes. Everyone in the family received their checkup results that day. When Walkie looked at his face went pale.
But of course, he had just found out he had a bullet in his chest. He's becoming he's fully Russian now. He's not even German anymore. So, you were there at the time?
Yes. Poor Walkie.
Okay. That must have been, quite frightening.
He was furious. He ripped his report up into shreds.
German prosecutors, 2 American prosecutors, and a whip. Yep. Let's see if I can find the German accent back. Nah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna have to listen to something and then get it from there. That's how I get all my fucking accents. The only reason I can do Sean Connery is I've listened to Sean Connery too much. Incidentally, I had to request another copy to file as evidence. A bothersome chore, but one I performed without complaint.
Walkie's at an age where he's hard to control when he loses his temper.
So he's got anger issues, is just what you're saying.
Of course, that little bit of instability is so cute. Great, now he sounds like a psychopath. So, is it easy to take a pistol from the house? Not really. I think there's a system in place to limit access. But Walkie's a special case, being the next in line. Perhaps his treatment was a bit too special, yeah? Or ja? There we go. Well, maybe he is a bit spoiled. I hear he got amazing presents for his birthday. Last year was a switchblade made out of chewing gum and a chocolate gravestone. What? He's a German man who lived in Russia for 10 years and came to the US, so he had a Russian accent. Okay, we'll run that. That's our headcanon. We'll run that. He still speaks with German terms, but has a Russian accent. Oh Lord. The headcanon in this game is crazy. At least he's not saying that famous German phrase of hasta la vista. But can we talk about the switchblade made out of chewing gum? How the fuck does that work? Sounds like he has a taste for sweets. And danger. The point here being that Walkie had access to a pistol. What happened? Meaning the murder. I tried to stop him. I really did. But Walkie wouldn't listen. Our defendant was nothing if not determined, it seems. The last thing you should do is blame yourself, miss. Maybe a chewing gum wrapper? Maybe, but like, I still don't see how you do it. That's an insane way to make a switchblade. How can you say that for certain? How? Herr Forehead, you will refrain from badgering the Fraulein. It was the defendant, Walkie, was it, who took the pistol from his home. We know this for a fact now. I suppose we do. So, how could anyone else have used this pistol to shoot the victim? They could not. Simple logic. Yeah? That does seem to be the case. Does the defense have anything to say regarding this point? Could someone else have used that pistol? I mean, can I look at this? Oh, I can. I like that they don't give his height or weight. Wow, it's all mushed. That was one tough save. You know, it looks kinda yummy. Huh? Like ice cream. Caramel.
You certainly have an active imagination, Trucy. Like, outside of his father, I don't think anyone else really could have gotten a hold of the gun. Yeah. I am going to save right now. I'll kind of agree. It does look a little bit like a cupcake. I'm gonna see what happens if I say it had to be walkie. Because either way, we're gonna have to hit everything anyways. I'm sure there was another person who could have used that pistol. I just can't think of who. Of course, he was the only one with access. Uh-oh. This is bad. If I leave it like this, may continue with the cross-examination. Is there really no one else with access to that pistol? Someone else with family ties?
Poor Miss Tiala. Can't imagine what it would be like to be in her position.
A little more concerned for her fiancé. Why would she testify against him like this? I don't think there's anything I can present to counteract this argument. I think it's only that last section. I'm gonna see what happens. Based on your testimony, there was clearly one other person had access to that pistol. What's this? Interesting. Let's ask the defense then. Tell the court who this other person with access was. What's this?
What? The boss and his wife?
Oh, an unexpected ploy.
Apollo, that can't be right. Why would they want to frame their own only son?
Oh. On his parents' behalf, I'd like to give you a penalty. Okay, well, we'll load. I mean, there's only one other person I would think that would have, you know, any way to get the weaponry, and that's her. Because, I mean, if it's not the family, you're the next closest thing. Well, of course, I mean, you, Miss Tiala.
Me? But why?
You were quite clear when you told the court. you heard about the pistol from the defendant on the day of the murder. In other words, you knew what he was planning. Let me get this straight. You intend to tell us that this lady stole the pistol from her fiancé and killed a man in cold blood on his behalf. I've heard of people doing strange things for love, but this... Well, the only reason I didn't go straight to her is my thought process was who would actually have a way to get the gun, and the first thing I thought was they may not she may not know how exactly to get, because she said herself there's ways to get to it. So I was like, it's either her or it's the parents. There's no one else. So if the parents aren't right, it's her. 50-50 shot. And it would have been fun to see if the parents did it. G-Man, it's okay, you're late. You're here. Welcome to the stream, man. You're an hour and a half late. That's okay, you still got half the stream. You get half the stream, and we're early in the court case. And also, we have new headcanon for Gavin, that he went to Russia for a number of years, and that's why he now sounds Russian. He kept the accent even though he speaks German. I'm all for romance, especially in my fanfiction, and for supporting your partner in life, to be sure. But I think I would hesitate at murder. Maybe. I'd contemplate. I'd hope you do more than hesitate. But what if a different connection could be proven? A connection between the witness and the victim. We might find that she had a personal motive beyond wanting to help her fiancé. That would put things in a slightly different light. What possible connection are you suggesting here? You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that the police never looked inside that safe. I have evidence showing a connection between the witness, Miss Diala, and the victim. That looks like a medical chart found inside a safe at the Maractus Clinic. I'd like to draw the court's attention to the names written on the chart. Mania 26 has changed spots? Really? Wow, where's it going? And also, why? Really? We're gonna take forever, Twitter, to load? Man, I was expecting it to pop up quick, and it did not. Ugh. Nobody knows? Oh. Wait a minute. Ah. Yep. Okay, I see that. Yeah, it got changed. Huh. Ah, Money in the Bank's gonna be in New Orleans. Money in the Bank's gonna be in New Orleans in 2026 now. Huh. What? Miss Tiala? Miss Tiala? Whatever. Why is your name on this chart? Oh, she's sweating bullets. Well, care to explain the meaning of this, Miss Tiala?
I'm not sure what you mean by meaning, Mr. Justice.
Our warm little fiancé just froze over.
I was on staff at that clinic until half a year ago. It was boring, so I quit. That's all. Is there a problem with that?
Miss Tiala, you testified that you had no connection to the victim.
And I don't. Now.
Now?
I quit half a year ago, didn't I? So there's no connection. Let me guess. You're the kind of guy who can't rest until he knows every last detail of his girlfriend's past.
Well, you gotta call Apollo out for that. You don't know that he's like that.
Am I right?
That's not true at all. Why, did she read my fan fiction? I know I put, you write a little bit of yourself into the characters, but, like, did she already figure that out? She must be one of my top readers. I embrace the ones I love. There's no connection now. Doesn't fly in a court of law.
Doesn't fly?
She's one tough nut. She probably feels right at home with the Kitakis. You left your job at the Maractus Clinic. True. But you remained connected somehow. Very well, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the Maractus Clinic. It's one of these two, and I don't know which one. I think I'll go with the sandals. I think, over the slippers. These sandals were found in the Maractus Clinic lobby. They're yours, aren't they?
Well, who knows? I'm sure there are lots of people with those sandals.
So sorry, Fraulein, but your act isn't working. Your moment of hesitation just now cost you.
Well, what's with you? I thought you were on my side.
Perhaps you are unaware that toes leave toe prints. A simple analysis of these sandals will reveal all.
Well, now we see your true colors. I was wrong to cooperate with you from the beginning. I just wanted you to help get Walkie back on the straight and narrow.
This court thinks you need to worry less about Walkie and more about yourself. Sounds as though we need to hear a bit more about your story. Your sandals were found in the entrance to the clinic, which means you went there on the day of the murder.
Well, there's little point in denying it.
Very well. The witness will tell us about this visit. Why did you go to the Maractus Clinic that day? Ugh. The allergies are popping up. Let's do a quick bet check-in. Fuck. Cody Bellinger still doesn't have a hit. Man. Sad face.
I did go to the clinic that day. My first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Walkie had the pistol. The doctor always was a timid man. Too timid to admit his own mistake. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets.
That's exactly what somebody who's hiding dark secrets would say.
I wanted to tell him to be careful as an old friend.
Ah, by mistake, you mean? The mistake we heard about from the defendant. The botched operation.
He was a timid, small man, but I never wished him harm. I just thought I should let him know, you know.
That does make sense. Yes, but there is still one thing which does not. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? The sandals left in the lobby, of course. We can assume she wore those sandals to the clinic, yeah? Then why did she not wear them home? If it were me, I would have worn them home. I would have worn those sandals home too. So why were the sandals left behind? You pointed out the contradiction before me. There's probably a good explanation for this, right, Miss Tiala? Say, for instance, there happened to be a similar pair of sandals there which you wore home by mistake.
Actually, that's right. I'm impressed, Mr. Gavin.
Oh, it is nothing. There is, after all, no other possible explanation. Yeah, forehead?
Oh, what the? No fair! He's filling the holes in her testimony.
The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Okay. Okay.
Around what time did you go to the clinic?
I don't remember exactly, but it was after 9:30, I think.
And that was the first time you had contacted Dr. Maractus in half a year?
Of course it was. He wasn't the kind of boss you made friends with.
So why did you go to the clinic that day? Did you want Dr. Maractus to run away?
Well, after I failed to stop Walkie, I thought that was the only other way to avoid the problem.
Couldn't you have called? Why go in person?
I called several times that evening, but no one was in.
The victim was busy driving home until after 9 p.m. that night, remember? This was proven by this mirror yesterday, yeah?
I thought if I warned him, he would run away for sure. Knowing the doctor.
You mean the act of malpractice on Walkie, correct?
If he had just told Walkie the truth in the beginning, none of this would have happened.
True. That operation was the start of this whole affair.
Oh, of course, if he'd told him, he might have been erased by the Kitakis much earlier.
A disturbing thought. I like that term though, erased. That's going into the fanfic. We know that the Maractus clinic had ties to the Kitaki family. He probably couldn't have gone to the police, even if he wanted to.
That's why I knew I had to warn him.
No dark secrets, eh?
What? Look at me however you want, Mr. Justice. You won't find a thing.
Excuse me. I do not know that one. Get that out of here. And get a beverage. Whew. God. Getting attacked by everything. Bones. Allergies. Everything's attacking now. She's hiding something. I know it. She's getting really close to the Valley Girl accent, though. I must have some evidence that proves it, too.
You're free to think whatever you like. I went to that clinic with only one thought in mind.
But then you'd be betraying Walkie, wouldn't you?
No, I did it for him. For us.
She went to warn him so that her fiancé would not have to commit such a crime, yeah?
I didn't want them to take my Walkie away.
There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him.
Do you know why she went, Apollo?
Time to figure out what really happened at that clinic. And fast. Alright. So the only evidence I can show that I think does anything is the slippers. Like, that feels like really that's it. Because I don't think the bullet shows anything yet. We know what the chart shows. The lamp does nothing right now. I think this is going to be more so involved later. Like, the slippers feel like the only piece of evidence that actually does anything. Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh. Is it the chart? Because of the X-ray? Because of what, Mr. Eldoon said? Because not hiding any dark secrets, dude's dead on arrival right now. Like, dude's a walking corpse for the most part. I'm gonna save real quick and then I'm gonna try this. Because I think that makes sense to me. I'm probably wrong, but I'm gonna do it anyways. This chart was found inside a safe in the doctor's office.
Yes.
Why would this one chart be in that safe? Miss Tiala, you know why it was, don't you? See, I actually thought that one through. Look at that. Look at that. I didn't overthink anything. I went back. Look at that. My brain's somewhat working today. It's crazy. Mine's filling me in. I need more information here to put in my fanfic. Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure of making mistakes. That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth locked away. Bad there, Doctor. And this is where you come in, Miss Tiala. The nurse who filed this chart, was you. Which means you knew about Walkie's failed operation. Interesting. I started to overthink it, but as soon as, like, when I went back, I knew which one we had to go to. But like the second she said dark, I reread it and was Dark Seeker. I'm like, sandals don't work with that. And I'm like, but the X-ray and Mr. Eldoon. I found the line. I found the red line on the board. You were in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kind of makes it hard to claim no connection, doesn't it? Oh, he's got a point. Fuck, this kid's pretty damn smart. His hair's really fucking pointy. You're bold for a novice. I'll give you that. You're a cocky bitch. That's what you are. Mr. Justice, you must know I was only a nurse. The doctor is responsible for the chart's contents. This chart business seems to be quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly. Too bad, little attorney. Yeah. My sixth sense. My bracelet's reacting again. What is it, Apollo? I felt my bracelet tighten just now. Your bracelet? Just like yesterday. Like you said. When a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habit gives them away. But I can't see anything, Apollo. What's my bracelet reacting to? Wait, maybe... Yes, that has to be it. What has to be it? Your senses, Apollo. They must be sharper than mine. Huh? I can't see it, but you can sense it. I don't know about that, Trucy. I don't have some kind of special power or anything. Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony, but we don't know what her nervous habit is. Well, then what do we do? You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo, with your eyes and your senses. It's up to me and my bracelet. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Somehow, touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot. Bring down that testimony. Okay. I'm just looking at what she does during a lot of this. Okay, I thought that was the same pose she had in that. Okay. Let's press her first. But your signature was on that chart. So, what does that have to do with this case? If there was something in that chart to make me look bad, I would have dealt with it. The only one responsible for the chart is the preceding doctor. Dr. the presiding doctor. Dr. Maractus. She's hiding something. I can smell it. And I bet she's got a habit that gives it away. I just have to focus to find her nervous habit. Maybe it's time to give my bracelet a rub. Alright. Oh. Time out. Okay, her eyes dart in that one. Okay, they dart in that one too. Okay. I'm just trying to see what she does in each pose, because if it is more of a habit, it's got to be this one, I would think, but I don't know what her habit is. Yeah, okay. I can't see anything, so I'm gonna have to just take a guess at this. Alright. Alright. Okay, this is interesting that they have you do this. I'm just trying to see, like, what she does here. Okay, I think it's gonna be a more hand-based. Okay. Save here. She fidgets with a ring. God, if I did not just automatically go, it's got to be a hand movement. I never would have noticed that. Never would have noticed that. I'm not that perceptive. My perception rolls like a 3 if I'm lucky. Why go to the clinic for a half-year-old chart now, you ask? But you know why you would go now, don't you? I don't know what you're talking about. It's quite clear, Miss Tiala. You have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you used your right thumb to fiddle with your ring. What? She was unsure. I saw it. Now. That's the key word. The chart wasn't a part of your past. It was a clear and present threat. That's ridiculous. Why, if that were the case? I would have had 6 months to do something about it. Indeed. Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you. Now. Got her on the ropes. I've got her on the ropes now. I can feel it. Time to strike the killing blow. With evidence! Okay. Okay, so that's an issue, mainly because, I mean, if remember the bullets moving. Miss Tiala, there's no use trying to hide it. The chart became a threat to you now because of this. Apollo would be fun at D&D campaigns. Oh, he'd be very interesting solely because like his perception would be fun to play with. I think utilizing him with high perception would be very, very fun. I'm pretty sure it's the checkup because it's the only thing that's a threat. I think. Because I don't see anything else that acts as a threat at this moment. Why she would desperately have to get that chart, unless it's got to do with, you know, the checkup report. I would have to think that. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll with it. I don't see anything else yet. A health checkup report belonging to the defendant. The Kitakis are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup report this month was their first ever. What did you think when you heard about this? Nothing. Why should I think anything? Oh, I would think you were positively beside yourself. Because you were afraid. You knew what Walkie's chest x-ray would reveal. Else, I didn't overthink shit. A full half year had passed since the operation. You thought you were home free. When the chart came back to haunt you. Feathers? Lyra Valkyrie, is that you? That's all, Your Honor. That's all, Your Honor. What just happened? Did the witness just admit to lying? I sensed it. There was a great aura emanating from her forehead. Very cool. So the lady was lying, it seems. That's correct. She said she had no connection to the Maractus Clinic. Her connection was deep indeed. A bit too deep. If the Kitakis got a hold of this chart with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't that right, Miss Tiala? You guessed it. Order! Order! I did it! I broke her testimony!
Amazing, Apollo! I didn't see it at all! Daddy was right about you. Wait!
Fucking bitch. Miss Tiala!
It's true. That chart was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet the doctor that day. But that's all. I told him about Walkie and went home.
It appears this cross-examination is far from over. What? She hid the truth from us. That is clear, yet it is not clear that this truth has anything to do with the case at hand. Very well. The witness will add this to her testimony. And we'll have a bit more cross-examination. Oh, I was so close!
You're still close. Keep on her, Apollo.
Okay. Ain't nothing happened? Nothing happened? Okay. How did Dr. Maractus respond to the warning?
Oh, he was quite surprised. Panicky, even. Who wouldn't be scared to learn a Kitaki was after them?
Incidentally, this court is not afraid of any mobsters. Why,
We had a life-threatening situation just yesterday, right here in this courtroom. Yeah, real impressive the way you stood up to the attack of the amazing Mr. Hat, sir. After which I carried you back to your chambers. Sounds like the judge had quite a fright. Nothing happened in Dr. Meritic's office that day, huh? But what about the mess we found? Something definitely happened in that office, Apollo. I know. But we can't prove when it happened. Nor that Alita Tiala was in any way involved. Well, let's try putting some evidence up anyway. There's no way she went to that clinic to warn him. Do you know why she went, Apollo? Time to figure out what really happened at that clinic fast. Oh, Furio Tigre came to court? Oh, yeah. The Angels drafted you, L? Jaren, you're either going to stay in the minors and they're going to trade you, or they're not going to re-sign Nolan Shawnuel and you'll go to the majors that way. Or they'll trade him. That's always how it works. So, you might be up early for the Angels. Because they do not have a lot at first base. So. Okay, present. There's two options, and this one feels pretty easy. It's either that, or it's that. I don't think we have anything to prove the red stain right now, but we do have something to prove the bullet. You're a trash panda. There you go. You get to play with Christian Moore. It's the golden cupcake. Yeah, my first thought was the bullet because, like, we can't explain this entirely, but this does, explain 2 rounds being fired. Or at least one of the 2 rounds. You say nothing happened in the doctor's office. I disagree. Take a look at this. What's that? It looks like a squished up ball of clay. Kind of like you, actually. This bullet was found in the Maractus Clinic office. Nuggets have hired their interim head coach to a full-time deal. That seems weird that they would do that, given they, fired their head coach for really no reason, but okay. Something did happen in that office, Miss Tiala. Enough of this joking around. The police investigated that clinic. Ah, but this was stuck inside the doctor's safe. Inside the safe. I guess the police didn't check that far. But there is a problem. How can you say that bullet was fired on that day? Weren't you the one who explained rifling marks to us? The pistol was taken from the Kitake mansion that day. If the marks on this bullet match the murder weapon, then that proves a firearm was discharged in that office on the day of the murder. Not bad, Air Forehead. Bailiff, have this bullet analyzed immediately. Boom. 30 minutes later, a report arrives. The rifling marks on both bullets are identical. Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. Perhaps the defense would like to state their position. The bullet in that safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in that office on that day. and at the time of the firing, the safe was open. The safe which contained the top secret chart. Yep, it definitely proves Walkie didn't have the gun at the time. Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maractus in order to open the safe? Only one person was in a position to do such a thing. Our witness, Alita Tiala. Order! 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 Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness? Alita Tiala knew about Walkie Kitaki's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as that bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him, and then the bullet finally reached its destination? What? That reminds me. Apparently, the Kitakis have been asserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a great deal of money. A fortune, if you will. Nefarious! So she planned to marry him just to get her hands on this fortune. Walkie, please get the fuck off the stand, man. Come back here. You're ruining our whole situation. We have her against the ropes. She's down for the count. We're about to get that 1, 2, 3 or submission victory. You keep talking trash about my Alita, and I'll sue you. I'll take all your money. I'll sue you. If you even look at me funny, I'll sue you. I'll take all your money. I'll sue you, lawyer man. Huh? Me? Yeah. You said you'd abuse my Alita. I think you mean accuse. Same difference. Well, you can't have her. She's mine. It was me. I shot the doctor. Me. I put the screw in the tuna. He left me to die, so I left him to die too, there in that park. Walkie. Just lost a lawsuit to Billy Mitchell. I mean, hey. Yeah, I could totally see Walkie trying to sue for this. I'm just sad that no one made reference to my Weird Al reference there. I'm sad you guys didn't bring it up. You keep your hands off my Alita, or I'll... You gotta listen to some Weird Al, Jaren. You gotta listen to it. It's good shit. Weasel Stomping Day. Virus Alert. These are all off the same album. Don't download this song. T. Miss Tiala? I'm sorry. It's been so long since I've laughed so hard. Something funny? Walkie, wake up and smell reality. Alita, baby. The signature on the chart? The engagement? I mean, come on. It's so obvious. Even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself. Alita! Your honesty is like a breath of foul air, Fraulein. Hey, I wasn't getting out of this clean anyway. So, the family fortune is what you're really after. That's right. I wanted the money. No way! That's whack! I ain't trying to hear that! This reminds you of Dahlia and Phoenix? I mean, yeah, but not as fun for us because I didn't say your name wrong and not realize it for the longest time. And then we had a fun running gag. I still can't believe I spent, like, I think the only reason I didn't notice is because I liked the "Hey There Delilah" gag we had going. So I never paid attention to the name until way too late. Should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question? Who? Me? I believe you said you were going to abuse me. Accuse. Of what crime, might I ask? Huh? Oh, I'm a bad girl. Sure. I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. He could have fired it into the safe after I'd already left the clinic. What? I would never do a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat. Wait, but what are you talking about? Trucy. You had the most to lose if the chart was found. But I didn't have a pistol. Now did I? Well, you could have taken walkies. You'd think he'd have mentioned that? No. All I've heard him say is, it was me. I shot him. That's only because he's trying to protect you. Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation. But the two of you are forgetting one critical point. What? What point? Certainly the Fraulein wanted the chart. You assume she threatened the doctor into opening that safe, but then, wouldn't she have taken the chart? Oh. You see, the chart wouldn't have been left in that safe. Eh. He's right. Miss Tiala. Yes? It is clear to this court that you are not a very good fiancé. That's very evident. I gave you some credit early on. Traditional values and all. But what the fuck? Oh, I'm flattered. Perhaps it's time you told us the truth. Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day. Don't forget, we've proven that you were at the Maractus Clinic on the day of the crime. There's a fucking gnat just hanging out by the light. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof. You don't even have proof I stole that pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in the temple or not. You went back later. That chart was dangerous, you understand? I needed to get rid of it. That's why I went that day. But you couldn't get the chart, then, could you? And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, but then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place. Ah, that was you!
So you were the burglar.
That was you two? If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart.
What? That's trespassing. And brazen at that.
Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know.
Yeah, he's an OG. We know this. In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination. Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? Okay.
Why that day? That brat was uncontrollable. He was ready to kill. And that would bring in the police. And that chart would become evidence. And I'd be hung out to dry. But the police didn't check the safe, did they?
Well, they thought the crime scene was the park. I'll make sure the reasonable parties feel the heat. Such sloppiness won't be tolerated, Ja. I'm kind of thankful for that sloppiness myself, actually. Later?
When I heard what happened, well, I was too scared to do anything that day. So I waited until the day after. The 16th, was it? Of course, you and that meddling kid had to get in my way.
Who are we, fucking Scooby-Doo? But why did Dr. Maractus keep that chart around? It was clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it.
Because he's a coward. The chart was his insurance.
Insurance?
My signature on that chart, to be more specific. That made sure I couldn't betray him.
But you could have stolen it.
Could have? Is this some new definition of proof?
We'll ask Walkie. He'll tell us. Might I remind you, this is a cross-examination. You might want to keep your baseless theories to yourself. He's right, isn't he? Yeah, but...
But what? You have nothing to say. This case is over. It was over the moment that brat was seen in the park. What's the point in dragging it out any further?
The doctor was shot in the right temple, yes?
So it seems.
Let's review the facts again, shall we? If the killer shot from this location, the bullet would have struck our victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple. Yes, we had testimony on this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned to look, and was shot. Nope, wrong side. But that testimony was proven to be a lie. Our egregious panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime. But he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. Mr. Stickler shouted from this location the bullet couldn't hit his right temple.
Silly, silly attorney.
What?
Do you remember what you had for breakfast this morning?
Do you remember, Trucy?
I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The panties gun was the panties guy was mistaken. But his location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken. Then why don't you show us, Air Forehead? Show you? What? Must I explain everything? Very well. Let's recap. If the witness, Panties guy, was standing to the north, then where was the shooter standing? From what location did the shooter shoot the victim? But wait! The witness was standing there. How could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple? I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. I gotta be shitting on his forehead, man. If you can, that is. Walkie-Talkie was standing at the killer mark. Wesley Stickler was at the witness mark. And of course, Pal Maractus was at the victim mark. Let's hear... Too many voices. Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim? Someplace else. As the facts stand now, we can't explain this crime. Without contradiction ourselves at some point. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location. What are you talking about? I don't see any other place. Apparently Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from? It's time to raise the roof. And the stakes. Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying? Did he shred? Like so. Double penalty! Our forehead wishes to take us in a new direction. Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge accepted. It's justice time. Are you serious, Apollo? The key is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that, we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted. There's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here. This is where the killer shot from. I hadn't thought of that. None of us did, Your Honor. This explains the wound in the right temple. How? I hadn't thought of that. The fuck you mean? That's where he shot from! Because we have fucking evidence for that! We have the slippers that have the... I've got evidence for that shit. Do I have to just put him, like, to the right area? 'Cause I thought they'd give me some space, essentially. Yes, amusing. Like your career, Mr. Justice. Fine. Rub it in. Perhaps you would be so kind as to try again. I mean, that's where he shot him from. Was right here. Because this was where the evidence was. Oh, that makes sense. Even though you can't... Oh. You can be inside the stand. Okay. I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Alita Tiala. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Wesley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Wesley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. Oh yeah, no, because there's the opening there, and yeah, okay. And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh yeah! I had to do it. Which direction was his right temple facing at that moment? That's right, toward the noodle stand. See, I didn't think about being inside the noodle stand, because the evidence is outside. So that's where my brain went. I also, thinking about it now, depending on the direction of the leaf, I could have gotten it. They were going away from the stand, which meant they would have been inside it. I didn't pay enough attention on where the leaf was and what direction it was going. I didn't think hard enough that time. Order! 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 So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand? Oh. See, I didn't think about that either. I legit didn't even think about that either. My brain wasn't even thinking about the bowls in the lobby being part of it. Like, I didn't even think about it. Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You said the killer was inside the noodle stand, which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him. Now, it does make sense how she got into the stand, because she could have been already at the Maractus clinic, hops in the cart as he's pulling it. Possibly, but I don't think that's how it happened. But it could have happened that way. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along. There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place? Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof. Baby! Show us evidence that proves someone was in the stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in the stand? Well, I've got it. I've got it right here. Intriguing. Let's see what you've got. Show us proof that someone was hiding in the noodle stand. Alright. Thoughts, Prosecutor Gavin? A choice between heaven or hell. Either our brains are damaged or our foreheads is. Okay, so it is the other one. Wonder which it is. This court finds Mr. Justice's brain faulty by majority vote. Time to pick something else.
Okay, now I have to use the evidence I thought about. Showing us the right evidence this time. Wait a minute. Do I have to? Yeah, no. I don't have anything to do with that. I didn't think so. Alright. My brain went back to that real quick. The Maractus Clinic. And they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene. And a single slipper print was found at the scene. It was coming out of it. Oh, I didn't pay attention to the way it was moving. Oh. Damn it. I didn't notice it was coming back. God damn. Oh, and Miss Diala, your toe print was found in the left slipper. In other words, this is proof you were inside the noodle stand. Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint? In good faith. Observe the diagram. The park pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. A slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path. Yet you still cannot say this is a footprint, yeah? Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was on the stand and simply fell to the ground? That's just dumb. One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with the tools of the noodle making trade. Here we go. There's no room for a person to ride in there. You have a point. Could someone have hidden in that stand?
Paulo, I think I might be onto something. I think I figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, some things would have to be...
Yeah, there we go. Well, Mr. Justice, you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand. I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand. Now, I show the bowl. This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldoon's noodle stand. Yes, what about it? We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday in the lobby of the Maractus Clinic. A large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic. Mr. Eldoon was very clear about those bowls. Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside the noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiala. Okay, I think I get what happened. She empties it out. He sees the noodle stand in front of the clinic. Moves the stand because he's pissed about it. Yeah. I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than that spoiled brat's pickup lines. Dude, I need to know what his pickup lines were. I also have to get a tissue. We're really close to the end of this case. So I am going to continue it. And I think we'll just finish it. I want to just see. See.
There it is. I want to just see how close we are. We'll just see how close we are at this point. Oh yeah, we are literally right at the end, essentially. So we're going to finish this today. I need a tissue because my nose is killing me. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully, I won't have to worry too much about my allergies.
Would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent.
Show me an innocent. I'll show you a fairy tale.
In any case, the defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both a motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Maractus.
More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale.
Then please, pull us back down to reality, Miss Tiala. Giving you one last chance to explain yourself.
This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand that night? And what was Alita Tiala doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case. That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kitaki family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, he thought the Kitakis had sent me. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. Don't think that fits. You knew about the botched operation. So you tried to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. I did warn the good doctor. I gave him a chance. I told him that Brack got his health checkup report, and that he was coming to settle the score.
I see. Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth, or it's over. And while this is going, I am going to get the Angels game up so I have it in the background to some degree. Okay. Kevin Sheets having a day. Look. Alright. First we press, then we proceed. So you did go to steal that chart. Were you listening? I said I asked him for it. The victim was a man in good health. I don't see how she could have coerced him. True, it would have been impossible without a pistol. What if she did have a pistol? I'll admit I wanted the chart. That much is true. My reason was simple. Certainly would have put a damper on your wedding plans, I'd say. Not only that, if the Kitakis had gotten that chart, I'd probably be with Dr. Maractus now, pulling that great noodle stand in the sky. Seems our witness was in a fix as well. Who'd want to die pulling a noodle stand? When I die, it will be by disappearing mysteriously in the middle of a magic act. Could be a little less morbid, please. So you see, I needed that chart. He didn't understand? He wouldn't listen to a word I was saying. The moment he saw me, he started to tremble. Huh. I thought, what a sad excuse for a man. Please don't smile like that anymore. It's creepy. He's practically delusional. They sent you? I thought the Kitakis had sent me to get the chart. To make some sense, you are their son's fiancé. To make me laugh, the Kitakis send me? They don't play that way. If they'd known about that chart, they would have gone in there with guns blazing. But I couldn't convince the trembling doctor otherwise. If that was really all that happened, what were all those noodle bowls doing there? How should I know? There weren't any bowls when I went, I know that much. Why don't you let me be and go look for your killer someplace else, alright? Do I detect uncertainty there? This is my last chance. Apollo, any word from your bracelet? Yeah, actually. I felt it respond. I couldn't see a thing. It's up to you, Apollo. Time to perceive the truth. Here comes justice. Oh. Okay. Okay, nothing there. Believe that. Yep. Yep, I thought she was probably tugging at that. All I did was talk. And a lie. What? Show me proof. I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence, and they give it all away. Proof is you, Miss Tiala. All I did was talk to him, you claim. Yet you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words. Oh great, the A's already scored twice. I can only assume it was a Brent Rooker homer. Given the way that at-bat was going. Yep, had a feeling. Fucking Brent Rooker, man. Back in Brent Rooker. Also, I'm gonna quickly check something. Two homers for Sheets, 2 hits for Merrill, but none of them are a homer. Come on, man. Alright. My Twitch? What are you talking about? Talking about the streaming service. You know, the site where you can live stream things? That's what I'm talking about. You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your scarf. What? What? This is working better than I'd hoped. Her unconscious actions tell the truth she won't say. Habits and lies. 2 dots. Connect the dots, find the truth. Don't look at me like that. I told you the truth. It seems that when you recall what really happened in that office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, can you? Seems that nervous habits are unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiala. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus Clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened. I'd assume it's got to be the lamp. It's the only piece of evidence we haven't used. It's got to be the lamp. What's that? You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken, and there's a red splotch of the cord. Seeing how you hide your neck, I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state. Well, spill it out. This talking in circles nonsense is killing me. Very well. The answer is very simple, Miss Alita Tiala. Please remove your scarf. Ladies and gentlemen, we got her. Uh-oh. This is a trial to determine what happened in that park, yet we seem to have drifted off target. We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting, as soon as the witness removes her scarf. I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me to remove my clothing. Miss Tiala, I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven. What? You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf. No. No! I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiala? Your neck! That isn't what I think it is. Something did happen that night at the Maractus Clinic. You needed to get that chart back no matter what it took, even if you had to steal your fiance's pistol to do it.
But wait! Looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, looks like the very opposite happened.
Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness, specifically. You tried to threaten Dr. Maractus, and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maractus Clinic.
Holy shit!
Feathers everywhere. Thank God nobody's tarred.
Order! 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 Someone please tell me what really happened.
I told you the truth already. I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you.
Looks like my clinic's seen its last patient.
We have to get rid of that chart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me.
So you can save your own skin?
What? I know what you're up to. You want in that...
I know what you're up to. You want in with the family. And if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. But if I'm going down, I'll want some company. You.
And what happened next? He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. Technically, I guess you could say she kinda did in self-defense. Kinda. Pal Maractus was serious. Deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out. Okay, so she blacks out. I guess at that point...
So, you were the victim.
The red splotch on the cord was your lipstick. I didn't want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There, are you happy now? I was out cold, almost killed, and you claimed I then snuck into the noodle stand? But how could I?
Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened at the Maractus Clinic. It would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself.
I'm sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it. It's hard to breathe. I've told you everything. Can I go home now?
You bear some responsibility for events that day, true. Yet, if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Miss Tiala.
When did this happen? Suddenly everyone's sympathizing with her. I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is that it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiala?
Very well. This finishes the cross-examination of this.
Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now, we rock. What? Those spikes on your head are softer than they look. Or do you have the stomach to go all the way?
Prosecutor Gavin!
While Maractus choked Alita Tiala, she fell unconscious. But what happened next?
He's right. There's more we don't know.
But she was choked hard enough to leave that mark. She would have been out for a while.
Even still, what if it was her in the noodle stand?
Lita Tiala, half dead, Dr. Maractus pulling that stand, and a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand.
What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night.
Miss Alita Tiala, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet.
You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you?
You too, Prosecutor Gavin. Me, Fraulein, I only wish to know the truth. Well, let's get back over what we've learned till now. On the day of the murder, Walkie saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine.
Miss Tiala heard about this from Walkie, so she went to the Maractus clinic ahead of him, in order to get rid of the chart with her signature.
But then, something happened.
Sounds like you figured it all out. But remember, I was the victim. I was out cold.
But what about Dr. Maractus? That does seem to be the problem. He had just strangled Alita Tiala. Perhaps he thought to death. Oh, is that what he did? Yeah, that's clever if that's what he's gonna do. What did he do after his crime?
I was just knocked out, not dead.
In the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, Air Forehead, care to guess? Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do? Maybe he did think he killed Alita Tiala. I have evidence to show what he did next? Next he would have driven his car. No. Because he drove the car back. Or somebody drove the car back. Right? If I'm right, the noodle stand is the next portion of this. As his next move, Dr. Maractus stole Guy Eldoon's noodle stand.
What? Killing me disturbed him that much? So much he randomly stole a noodle stand?
It wasn't so random. Remember all the bowls in the clinic's foyer? Bowls that belonged inside that stand. I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? That stand was at the clinic. However, the question is, why did he remove the bowls?
Maybe because the stand was heavy.
Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place. Oh, wait, you don't mean... I do. Dr. Maractus did replace those bowls with something. Your corpse, Miss Tiala.
My corpse?
Dr. Maractus panicked. He thought he'd killed you. Oh yeah, the Angel's totally gonna lose this game with the way this game's going. His next move would be to dispose of the body.
That's crazy talk. You're all crazy.
And let's think about it logically. The doctor had a place to dispose of you in mind. Against the homeless athletics? Because, you know. We won 6 straight. We can't win 7. You think the Angels can win 7 straight games? I mean, given we're better in the late innings, it seems. We've done a really good job at coming back in games, so we'll see what happens. But right now, it does not look good. But on his way there, who should he run into but the defendant, Waki Kitaki? I question your logic. What's this, Prosecutor Gavin? The park is a dead end. Why would he head in that direction to begin with? That's right. He had no reason to go there. Oh, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand. Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination. What? Who's gonna bury the body? Apparently the defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Maractus was heading with the stand. Oh, he was going to toss her in the river. That's what he was going to do, yeah. Please show us on this diagram. To where exactly was the victim dragging that stand? I would think it's the river. There? That's a river! Yes, Your Honor. I scarcely need to explain why. A perfect place to dispose of a body. He was going to throw me into that river? Didn't have many other options, Fraulein. I believe this clears up all of the remaining questions. The victim pulling the stand, and the defendant before him. And inside the stand, you, Miss Alita Tiala. And then, the denouement. Wesley Stickler, of panty-snatching fame, walks up. Seeing the two men, he shouts, in that instant, oh, God. So I shot him. Oh, God, man. Whew. You were the only one who could have stolen Waki's pistol. It had to be you. Well, Miss Tiala? Nice work. You mean, I'm right? I mean, you've done a fine job dreaming up a story. To get that spoiled brat off the hook. You're the one who's dreaming. Paolo's backed up everything he said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand through the park? Who knows? But there's one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak. I'm gonna save real quick. Whereof what? Can't believe she's still trying to deny this. Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin? Must I always be the one to point out her forehead's errors? Oh, top of the third already, goddamn. Maybe there really is something. Believe the Fraulein speaks of Herr Doctor's car. His car? That's right. The Maractus Clinic has that big garage. Which set? A green sports car, was it? Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car.
So we find our victim without probable cause to steal that stand. The defense without a case. Want to see where I stand right now in this? Yep. Okay. Yep, we're right at the end.
I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run if it was broken.
What an excellent counter-argument, Fraulein. Too bad you're quite wrong. Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy.
Daddy?
That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was the green sports car. Oh yes, I'd nearly forgotten about it. Afterward, he drove it back to that garage. It ran fine.
That's right. So why didn't he use his beloved sports car?
A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead. No.
No!
Order! 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 Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Maractus use his car to carry the body? It's that they groan of surrender, I hear. Some advice. Now's a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. Everything I've learned. Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubt in your entire case. This is truly your last chance.
Well, we know he wasn't driving the car at that point.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the car didn't run. Because no one else stole the stand. I don't believe that. And him carrying the body in the car would make stealing the stand irrelevant to the entire case. So, pretty sure it's the car didn't run. Have an idea. It's all coming together. That night, Dr. Maractus couldn't use his car.
Huh? Now you're making even less sense than usual.
Not according to my information, Miss Diala. Put 1 and 1 together. The explanation is simple. If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence. Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night.
Her panties were in the exhaust, and he ran in there getting away from Trucy. That was before he went to the park, because he had already gotten rid of Trucy's panties before he had gotten Plum's. Boom.
Let's see now. Panties! Again!
All sorts of things come out of my panties. Even the truth.
Trucy, stop it. Stop it. Another crime was committed the night of the murder. Dolphins just signed Blaine Gabbard's brother? Really? We got another Gabbard in Florida. Trucy's panties saved the day. Yep. The theft of these panties. The latest in a string of similar thefts, actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act.
The only reason I figured this out is because he got chased there by Trucy. So that car was already there before, he got to the park. Because, he wouldn't have gone to the park and then gotten chased by Trucy. That just makes no sense. He hid in the Maractus Clinic garage.
What?
The Snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them?
Why, weren't they found in the car's exhaust pipe?
Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin. Clogged exhaust pipe. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even remember him saying that.
My, how interesting.
While Miss Tiala and the doctor were struggling, the Panty Snatcher snuck into the Maractus garage. From that time until the time we found these, that car wouldn't start.
What? That's why Dr. Maractus had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of.
Why are you so kind, Prosecutor Gavin? Well, Miss Tiala, this wraps your doubts up quite nicely, I think.
So it does. Where am I? So dark, can't see. Cramped. The pain. My throat's burning.
What's your problem?
You, Doc! I know what you did!
Oh.
Walkie? You lied to me! You lied to me! You lied to me! So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man!
Well, wait! Let me explain.
Fine. I give you your last request.
Listen, you're being tricked, but not how you think. It's not just me. Oh, he was gonna snitch. You know what they say.
No, he'll ruin everything. I have to stop him.
Cease this at once, you two.
Funny. This isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well. Too bad.
There's still one mystery. How'd you manage to disappear from that stand?
The silence after the shot. I heard the witness running.
I believe we heard as much from Wesley Stickler. He went to use a public phone to inform the police.
Which is when I made my escape.
Which is when you left that slipper print.
Dr. Maractus didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in that paint, though.
That was your mistake.
No, my biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice. I believed in you. You and your anything agency. If anyone would get Walkie declared guilty, it was you.
This was going to die. He was going to ruin Alita's life. Yep. He's going to give it all up. He couldn't live. Dear Lord, every time I look over It's the bottom of the third, and every time I look over at the Angels game and the Angels are pitching, Anderson has a runner on base. I'm like, what the fuck, man? He's having a terrible day.
Believe we've reached a conclusion of sorts. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Alita Tiala doing?
She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now.
Prosecutor Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost.
I think he already knew. He'd figured out she was the killer a while ago. He lost. But I didn't exactly win either. Something the matter, Air Forehead.
Looks like it's time to announce a verdict.
Not guilty! Ah, woo. We saved an OG! Phillies might win 7 straight. I mean, you are in Colorado against Colorado. Like, you should beat them with your firepower. Like, if any team should dominate in Colorado, it's the Phillies. Ugh. Dear Lord. This Angels team just not playing well today, and mainly pitching. Each had another run. It wasn't Merrill. God damn it. Merrill, I need you to homer. It's top of the 11th. Homer, get a 2-run shot. Damn it.
Court is adjourned.
Great job, Apollo. You did it. Yeah, we did. Somehow.
Rocky's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he's always wanted to be. He has you to thank. Hey, attorney man. You're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita, Holmes. Right to blame, I guess. You give my Alita back. Stupid pointy-headed attorney with a death wish.
Enough, Walkie. Get away from the man who saved you. Ah, Mr. Kitaki. It's high time you opened your eyes, Walkie.
What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you opened yours. Giving up the life, trying to become some kind of businessman.
Don't talk about what you don't understand, Walkie.
I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out.
Not in jail. Wouldn't that be a happy ending?
Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kitaki needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Waki. Waki, Apollo has something to tell you.
Huh? I do? Way to put me on the spot.
What's up?
What up?
Show him the reason why, Apollo.
What haven't we shown? Huh. I'm pretty sure it's just the chart, but... Think about it, Walkie. Think about your condition. I talked with your mother, Little Plum, yesterday.
She doesn't mean you aren't really, are you?
I searched the globe, and I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Walkie. But it's an expensive procedure.
Man! But you got plenty of money already, don't you?
I won't use it. It was the gangster life that did this to you, Walkie. I want to help you. And I want to do it clean.
Holy shit, his eyes!
Please, understand, Walkie.
Dad! Man! I see how it is, old man. Always looking out for... Always out for...
Walkie?
Listen good, old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out. Then we'll see who's the OG. You try to hide in your business suit, I'll find you. Stupid old geezer.
Walkie! No, it's as it should be. Mr. Kitaki! I liked him more without the puppy dog eyes. I'm glad to have met you. I'm not so good with words, but I know a professional job when I see one. Thank you.
Who? Me?
I don't think. Someday. I'll bake you one of our latest. The Kitaki Lime Pie.
He's opening a pie shop?
So long.
He's gonna sell me a pie I can't refuse. Well, 3-0 right now, and I don't even think Anderson's gonna make it through the 5th inning. And he was gone.
Well, let's head back, Apollo. To the Right Anything Agency.
Hey, since when do I work at your agency?
If we make a good team. Don't just stand there. Let's get going.
Huh? Why not? She did help me out. There's a few questions they still need answers. Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. Also, why do so many women wear scarves like that? Though I can't say I care much for what her father has become.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that's right. We have to go someplace first.
Huh? Where?
Why, to claim our reward for Mr. Eldoon.
Ah, salty noodles. Right. Gotta stand back already?
Oh, and after that, you can come see my show with a special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat.
Oh, he's special, all right. Please, anything but him. I knew that day it had to be done. And that is the end of chapter 2. So, next week we start episode 3. That means we are already up to the second to last episode in the first game, which is absolutely crazy to me. I am shocked that we've already made it to the third one. But of course, the fourth one looks very long, given all the stuff that happens. The fourth one looks very long. Third one seems longer, but not overly long. So, I mean, Kitaki Lime Pie, yeah. Key Lime Pie.
But, with that though, that is going to bring us to an end to today's stream. All right. Whew. So, let me get some music going. Fuck, my allergies decide to kick in big time for this. Why today? I hate when they decide to kick in on Visual Novel Thursday because it makes everything harder. Either way, appreciate you guys for being here. G-Man, Jaren, Dusk, appreciate you guys for watching After the Fact on YouTube or Twitch. Appreciate you too. Tomorrow, we'll be back for some more hardcore Silver Nuzlocke. And of course, Sunday, we will be doing the live watch along for Double or Nothing. So, if you want to chill here and chill out watching the show, we'll be right here. No show on stream though. Keep that in mind. So, gotta keep that in mind. With that though, appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time.